Hi friends, we are going to look into group theory. Now a group we know is a collection of distinct elements that follow some law of composition. Let's say we have a set G. This set G is a group if it satisfies the following conditions. The first condition is closure property. That is, if A and B belongs to G, then A composition B will also belong to G. The second property is associativity. For any A, B and C belongs to G, A composition, B composition C will be equal to A composition B composition C. The third condition is the existence of a unique identity element. That is, for any A belongs to G, we are having A composition I is equal to I composition A is equal to A, where I is that unique identity element belonging to this group G. The fourth condition is the existence of inverse. That is, for each A belongs to G, there is also an A inverse which belongs to G, such that A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A composition A inverse is equal to A inverse composition A, which is equal to I, where I is the identity element. Now a set which satisfies all of these four properties is called a group. Now this group can be either abelian group or non-abelian group. A group will be abelian if for any two elements A comma B will belongs to G, if this condition is satisfied, A composition B is equal to B composition A, then this group is abelian. And if this is not satisfied, then this group will become non-abelian. Then the group becomes non-abelian. The order of the group is the number of elements which are present inside the group, and the order of the element is given as, let's say A belongs to G, and if A raised to n is equal to I, then this n is the order of that element A, where n is some positive integer. Next we are having SU2, which is a special unitary transformation of order 2. SU2 is a group of special unitary matrices of order 2 under matrix multiplication. For any matrix to be an element of this SU2 group, it should satisfy two conditions. First condition is the matrix must be written in this form: A, B minus B star, A star. That is, the complex conjugate of A is this one, and negative into complex conjugate of B is this one. And the second condition is mod of A squared plus mod of B squared should be equal to 1. So all those matrices which belong to SU2 must satisfy these two conditions. And as the name suggests, all these matrices which belong inside this group are also unitary. The next group which we are going to look into is the O3 group. O3 is the orthogonal group of order 3. So as the name suggests, all those matrices which belong into this group must be orthogonal in nature. So this O3 group consists of orthogonal matrices of order 3 under matrix multiplication. This is also called as the dimension. This 3 can also be called as the dimension. So the determinant of the orthogonal matrices in this O3 group can be either plus 1 or can be minus 1. Therefore, we can see this group has two components, two connected components. So the group which contains the identity element is called as SON or SO3, special orthogonal group of order 3 here. Now we are going to look into some other topics randomly. A vector which is perpendicular to any plane or any vector perpendicular to any plane, or we can say any surface phi, is given by del phi. A is curl-less or irrotational if del cross A is equal to 0 and A is divergenceless or solenoidal if del dot A is equal to 0. Given vectors are linearly dependent, if you find the determinant, if you put all those vectors in the form of a determinant and find the determinant, it comes out to be 0, then those vectors are linearly dependent. If that determinant does not come out to be 0, then those vectors are linearly independent. Also, for linearly independent vectors, one vector cannot be written as the linear combination of the other vectors. The other method is we can also find v1 dot v2 cross v3. If there are three vectors v1, v2, v3, and we have to find whether they are linearly independent or not. So if v1 dot v2 cross v3 is not equal to 0, then those vectors are those three vectors are linearly independent. Two vectors are said to be orthogonal to each other. Orthogonal means they are perpendicular to each other. Then the dot product will be equal to 0. Next we are having the probability of getting exactly k successes in n trials is given by probability mass function, which is the probability will be equal to p raised to k into 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus k n factorial upon k factorial into n minus k the whole factorial, where this p is the probability of having a success. The Poisson statistic states that the probability of finding the value n is given by Pn will be equal to mu raised to n upon n factorial e raised to minus mu, where mu is the expectation value of n. That is, expectation value of n is mu, and the variance in this case is given by sigma, which is nothing but root mu. The formula for combination is given by NCR will be equal to n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r the whole factorial. The formula for permutation is given by NPR will be equal to n factorial upon n minus r the whole factorial. We have seen the diagonalization using symmetry transformation. So this is a diagonal matrix B, which is P inverse AP, where A is a non-diagonal matrix. So if this non-diagonal matrix A is Hermitian, then this matrix P will be unitary. That is, it will satisfy the condition P into P dagger is equal to P dagger P is equal to I, and P dagger will be equal to P inverse. We are also having a limit m tends to infinity 1 plus x upon m the whole raised to m is given as e is equal to e raised to x. With this we have done, I believe, more than 90% of the syllabus for mathematical methods of physics. The more you practice, the better you will get, and then your concepts will also get more clear. Peace be upon you.